We're going to go into detail regarding those office and industrial submarkets, but first of all, Andrew, a question for you. What are the sort of 5 takeaways from this year's report?
Absolutely. Well, this year's report is probably one of the most important ones we've done after the past 12 months that we've all been through. We've prepared this report using unbiased data. It's not just ours, it is the county's data. So we can see really the key trends of what's gone on over the past 12 months. And one thing that's really clear to come out of it is actually the commercial property market's recovery is well underway. We're seeing this in our day-to-day roles, but also you can see this within the data. 12 months ago, April 2020 was obviously a pretty tough time for the commercial market, which followed that national sentiment of what is going on and that shock and panic. We're starting to see inquiries coming forward, filling some of that void space that came back, and office take-up, for example. It's a sub-market that's really been affected by this pandemic as people's working habits pretty much changed overnight, has started to recover in a way in which good quality space is being taken up. People are starting to look to the future of, right, what does my business model look like and where do my staff come to? I think we're not out of the woods yet with regards to the office market. We're seeing a lot of availability coming onto the market as a lot of spaces are now being brought forward as people saying, right, we're not going to return, or I don't need this full amount of space, or I don't need this full building. So there's certainly not out of the woods there yet, but the inquiries are there for that space to be taken up with. Our industrial market has remained pretty resilient alongside probably what was being found within the country, as distributors and manufacturers, not all, but some have had a pretty good time over the past 12 months, and that space is really being utilised. As a county, we're well positioned within the country, being in the middle. We've got the 2 motorways running through it, and with all our motorway junctions as well. So we're really well positioned to take that industrial market forward. Deal sizes, we're seeing sort of the average deal sizes of both industrial and offices staying the same. So we're not seeing necessarily people downsizing. That rush to downsizing doesn't mean it's not coming, but at the moment people are sort of saying, look, we want to stay in the sort of size space that they've taken previously. I think that's because as a county we don't really do large floor plates too well, but actually that's turning out to be a positive now. You look at the large floor plates of the city, such as Birmingham down the southeast and in London, we're seeing within the news at the moment that people aren't wanting to return to those just quite yet. The spaces such as the one we're in today and the ones we find throughout the county really are appealing to everyone. I think one thing we have struggled as a county, not just in the last 12 months, but for certainly as long as our data's gone back, is the availability of freehold space. It's still hard to find, and actually within the past 12 months, as the interest rate has remained low, and as perhaps putting your capital into the stocks and shares, and those markets has remained a bit more uncertain, more volatile. Property is becoming quite a safe bet, but those opportunities are just so scarce at the moment. We're still seeing, even in the last 12 months, capital values achieving record figures across the county, and that's somewhere that we really need to address, is that availability of freehold space, as well as the leasehold space that's coming forward.